Hi all, welcome to today's class. How are we? So today we are going to talk about algebra. Now, before I start algebra, I just need to tell you something that every single person down there who is watching this video, you actually know maths. Maths is not tough. It's the most simplest thing ever made by a human in the entire planet. It's really simple, and I'm going to prove it. How simple is it? Now, let's say every single person down there who's watching this video know a math. Let's say, let me give you two examples. You went to the shop, you did some shopping for like 25 euros, right? And you have a note of 50 euros and you gave that note to the shopkeeper and you know exactly how much change you're going to get back. You know it. You don't need to be a mathematician to know this thing, right? Let me give you another example. When you start working, even some of the parents, you are working, kids, when you're going to start working, there will be a thing called tax. You probably need to pay a tax. Like, let's say you make that much amount of money, you're paying like 22-23% of tax. Let's say you make that much of money, you need to pay like 40% of tax. And I wish everyone make that much money so that they have to pay 40% of tax. Anyways, so you know you need to pay tax and how much tax you are paying. One more thing, when you change your job, you have to pay emergency tax sometimes, right? When you got your paycheck, when you got your pay slip, you know there is something is wrong in my pay slip today because I was supposed to get more money. So you know that. You don't need to be a mathematician to notice all those things. So actually you know what kind of maths is this that you've been doing your whole life. You call this maths as a arithmetic maths. So arithmetic maths is like plus, minus, multiplication, division. All those things that you're actually doing your whole life is called arithmetic maths, right? Exactly, just like the science, we have different branches: physics, chemistry, maths, biology. We have egg science, we have space science, we have now these days CSI, forensic science. They talk about DNAs, they talk about rocks, they talk about oceans. Like, there are so many different types of science. Our science have a branches now these days. Exactly, maths have a different branches as well. Today I'm going to mention a few very important branches of maths that we're going to use in our curriculum. The first one you already know that you've been doing from your whole life, arithmetic. The second one, let's say anything that have a shape. Actually, every single thing have a shape. Look around your room, you will see like every single thing that exists in your room have a shape. Let's say this marker have a shape, right? This marker have a shape. So the study of the shapes and size and the measurements is called geometry. In mathematics is called geometry, and we're going to talk about that as well one day. Now, the third one, let's say you have a triangle. When you're going to do the geometry, there will be something called triangle. So once you have a triangle with the 90-degree, a right angle triangle. So basically, right angle triangle is a triangle in which one angle is 90-degree, right? We're going to talk about this in detail. So the relation between the right angle triangle sides and the angles in between and outside is called trigonometry. We're going to do that. We have that thing in our curriculum. We're going to do and finish that topic as well. But today we are talking about algebra. Now, what exactly algebra is? Algebra is the study of numbers and letters at the same time. Exactly, yes, at the same time. The numbers and letters. Now, if you know numbers, if you know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, if you know these numbers, if you know A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, if you know these letters, yes, you can do algebra. And let's start now. Let's start now. So if you know these numbers and if you know these letters, you know the algebra right now. Let's say you have something. Now, what exactly this something is, you're going to know by end of this video. Let's say you have something which is 4x plus 5. Now you can see 4x plus 5. Let's call this something for a beginning. Now, this is something. Now, there are like name as you have a name. You got names, like in algebra we got name given to some terms. So let's start with the naming. So you know this 5, the 5 is called constant in algebra. The numbers are called constant. C-O-N-S-T-A-N-T, constant. The numbers are called constant. Why? Because 5 is 5. It's never going to change. Today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, 10 year, 20 year, 30 years, 5 will stay 5. It's never ever going to change. You, yourself, your family, your kids, your grandkids, your great grandkids going to call 5 as a 5. They're not going to start calling 5 as 7 or 10 or 12 or something else. 5 will remain 5 till the end of this world. So that's why we call this constant. Constant is something that never change, never change. Again, constant is something that never change. Now we have letter. Let's talk about the letter. Letter could be anything. It could be X, Y, Z, A, B, C, P, Q, R, L, M, N. But mostly in algebra, they use X, Y, Z, A, B, C, P, Q, R, L, M, N. These are the 4 pair of letters. They're mostly used, but they can use any letter. Doesn't matter. Letter is a letter, right? So X is called variable. We call this variable V-A-R-I-A-B-L-E. We call this variable. Now, why we call this variable? You certainly heard the word variable before sometimes. If not, you definitely heard the word vary. That this vary, the performance of this rugby player vary from this stadium to that stadium. He actually do better in this stadium. He do really good in that stadium. Does that make sense? So yeah, the variable means we don't know the value, right? X we don't know. It could be anything. It could be anything. We don't know. It could be 2, 1, 3, 4, 5. So the terms, the variable letters are called variables in algebra. Now you see you have 4 here. You have 4 here, right? So this is a number as well, but we call this as a coefficient. C-O-E-F-F-I-C-I-E-N-T. We call this coefficient, and always remember, any number before variable is termed as coefficient. And now one more thing I need to tell you. 4x means 4 multiplied by x, means 4 times x. When there is no sign in between the number and the variable, the coefficient and the variable, that means they meant to marry each other. They meant to be multiplied with each other. Now, coefficient is a number which is we are multiplying with variables. So these are the very 3 main terms that we have, 3 names we have in algebra. Now, what do we call this 4x? What do we call this 4x? This 4x and this 5. Now, we call them term. We call them term. T-E-R-M. T-E-R-M. Now, 4x is one term. 5 is one term. Remember, 4x is a single term. 5 is a single term. Why? Let's say x is 2. Let's say we have the value of x is 2. So that means 4 times 2 will be 8. It will be one term. So these are not 2 different terms. These are one single term. We call them one single term, right? Now, the next thing is, do you remember in the beginning of the lesson, I just mentioned that let's have something. Now this something, we call this something as an expression. That's the name given to it, expression. E-X-P-R-E-S-S-I-O-N. We call this expression. So now the last thing in the introduction of algebra, let's say if this expression is equal to something. Let's say if this expression is equal to a term. You know what terms are now. You know what terms are. You know what expressions are now. Let's say if this expression is equal to some term or some expression. Let's consider the term 20. Let's say it's equal to term 20. That thing is called an equation. Now the whole lot of this is called equation. We call this equation, U-A-T E-Q-U-A-I-O-N. We call this equation. Now, a quick recap. 5, number, constant, X, letter, variable, a number before variable, coefficient, hold this thing, expression, equal to sign, equal to expression, or equal to a term is called equation. These are by itself called term. Now that's the introduction of algebra. Now you know that. Now you know this much of introduction. Now I'm going to give you 2 questions. Just 2, not many. See, I've been told, like, you can learn maths, right? But maths need to be practiced. You can learn maths. It's easy. But the thing is, you cannot remember maths. You need to practice maths. That's the thing that I tell every single student. You need to practice with your hands. You need to write down the things. Now, 2 questions. Let's say you can go back to the videos for variables, expressions, and a constant and the terms. And I would say question number 1 is 2x plus 7y minus 8. Now, please identify the coefficients, the variables, and the constants in this. And the second question will be 3xy plus 7. Now, tell me, what are the variables and what are the coefficients and what are the expression in these 2 questions? And that's your homework, and you can try doing that one. So good luck, and I will see you for the next video. The next topic will be like terms and unlike terms. And now you know what exactly terms are, right? So like terms, what are the like terms and what are the unlike terms, that we're going to do in our next lesson. And listen, mind yourself, take care, practice maths, and be safe and stay healthy, and let's make this world a better place. I'll see you around. See ya. Thanks.